That's why our 626 feels personal, and our MX-6 feels timeless. It's why every Mazda will fulfill its promise in a way no other car can.
You can have a great beef dinner in no time at all. Well, almost no time at all. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
You want a beer. You want it cold. You want it smooth. Introducing Colders 29 and 29 Light. Brewed its own way. Cold aged at 29 degrees to seal in smoothness. When you chill with Colders, you get a cold, smooth taste. Beer after beer.
Cold, smooth, taste.
New Colders 29 and 29 Light. What else do you need?
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Starter. Look for the stars and you'll find Starter. By Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. By the Beef Industry Council and Beef Board. Beef, it's what's for dinner. And by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold.
36-degree day in the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. The Bears with a 23-3 lead on the Steelers. A short kickoff handled by Thompson. Leroy Thompson to the outside. Good return. He went for 35 yards. Emil Stinson right about 12 and a half remaining in this fourth quarter. A reminder tonight, right here on NBC, a special 90-minute edition of Eyewitness Video with spectacular new video of a series of amazing rescues. That'll start at 7, 6 Central, followed by the box office blockbuster Back to the Future 3, starring Michael J. Fox, 8:30, 7:30 Central, right here on NBC. Graham could not hold on.
Well, I don't know what the stat is today on drop balls, but I think the Steelers have had their quota for the season. Because that ball, now you can't blame Brister for that one. Graham gets both hands on it and just can't hold on. That's about his third or fourth drop today alone. And you know, everybody looks at the quarterback statistics when the game's over and said, well, through these interceptions, this, that, they don't take into account those drop balls. They kill you just as bad, too.
Second down and 10. Brister off the roll. Nice pass and a good catch by the tight end, Adrian Cooper. Free safety Mark Carrier on the tackle. Third catch of the day for Cooper. That for 23 yards.
Well, you're not used to seeing a 270-pound tight end loose in your secondary like this, and he's wide open. Cradles the ball in, turns up, and you see that Mark Carrier doesn't take him on very high. He just makes sure he tackles him and gets him down.
First down at the Chicago 26. Foster. And that his most effective run of the day, stopped by Singletary. We're set for another update. Let's go to Bob Costas.
Marv, after trailing at one time, 13-3 on their home field, the Chiefs have now scored 24 unanswered points against the Patriots. Dave Craig here to Willie Davis. Davis has the highest average yards per reception in the league this year. This one covers 43 for the touchdown, and the Chiefs may be out of trouble in the fourth, 27-13.
All right, Bob, second down and 3 at the 19. Brister could not find anyone. And runs it out for the first down.
Well, the difficult thing about being in the situation that Pittsburgh's in, and I know this is no big revelation, but the Bears' defense is all pass rush, and the Steelers' offense is, at this point in time, 95% pass, and that allows the defensive backs to sit on things a little better and It allows the lineman not to worry about those running plays, and it's just a lot more difficult to throw under these circumstances.
First down from the 15-yard line. Brister took a long look and then went medium range.
But the primary receivers were covered there. He was only able to get back to Tim Jordan. There's Jeff Graham working with Stone coming in behind him. Graham is on a corner pattern, but the corner, number 32, Lemuel Stinson, is sinking back there. And Brister has to go over the other side to Jordan.
Tim Jordan, the backup tight end, third year out of Indiana, one-time Phoenix Cardinal. First catch of the day, second down and 5. And Brister calling for time. Five seconds remaining on the play clock. And watch the reaction from Mike Singletary as Brister called for the timeout. We'll be right back.
Get in line, stay in step. Or maybe you'd rather go your own way. In which case, check out the all-new 93 626ES from the new Mazda. The company that's put a twist on everything from luxury cars to roadsters. Now we've done the same to sedans. With a V6, an airbag, and ABS. Introducing the all-new Mazda 626.
Mazda, it just feels right.
The Black & Decker Workmate. About all it can't help you do is clean up. But at least it gets out of your way, and it's a powerful gift idea.
If your business gives up the quality of AT&T Pro Watts and calls from Boston to Chicago with someone else, here's your big savings. Leaving AT&T doesn't make a lot of sense.
The Chiefs, locked in a tight battle for the AFC West lead. Schottenheimer's teams in pursuit of their first division title since the days of Stram and Dawson 21 years ago. The Giants, they stand in the way of a KC victory dance. A special Saturday edition of the NFL on NBC next Saturday.
Marv Albert, Bill Parcells from Soldier Field in Chicago. 9:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Bears leading Pittsburgh 23-3. Second and 5 down at the 10 for the Steelers. And Brister's pass off the mark intended for Foster. Covered by Morrissey. The Pittsburgh Steelers were not able to establish a running game this afternoon. Barry Foster comes in leading the NFL in rushing and in total yards. Only 12 carries for 24 yards. He's also caught 2 balls for 10. You might say he has been handcuffed.
Well, he has, and his receivers haven't given him any help. They dropped about an even dozen, and of course then they had the turnovers, the block punt, and the punt return. So when you add that all up, it adds up to 23-3.
Third down, 5. Brister taken down by Steve McMichael. 4th sack of the day for the Bears. For McMichael, his 9th of the season.
Well, you know, Marv, I've only been out to this stadium here to watch or participate in a game 3 times, and I'll tell you, they all look the same to me, because that's exactly what the 2 that I coached in look like, and the one I'm watching here today looks just like those 2.
And a 38-yard field goal attempt for Gary Anderson. Earlier, he hit from 38. First, the Bears take a timeout. 9:10 to go in the fourth.
Why can't van doors swing open instead of slide? Why do minivans handle like trucks? Why can't they feel more like a car? This is what the engineers at Mazda wondered.
Just did get it off. Lewis with the acceleration, but short of the first down. I understand O.J. scoffing at your warning that it might be the right setting for an upset here today, and the Bears in the process of pulling off what has to be considered a mild upset, and that the game is being played here in Chicago. 23-6. The Bears on top with 7:40 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Well, you know, O.J., he's never been into the nuts and bolts of the football operation. He's just one of those flashy guys, you know, a couple of long runs here and there, and that's it.
It's a third down and 1. And Lewis gunning for the first down and has it. Stopped by the nose tackle, Gerald Williams.
Well, this is the thing that Mike Ditka wants to do now is, you know, not throw any more passes unless it's extra long yardage and run for some consecutive first downs. And if he was able to do that, then that would put the icing on what has to be a pretty good day for the Chicago Bears. And they've been few and far between the last few weeks. And I know Mike Ditka and all the Bears, and particularly Mike Singletary, have got to be happy with the way this day turned out.
First down at the 31. Mustard with a short pickup. There has been so much conversation concerning Mike Singletary playing in his finale here in Chicago, but the question also raised during the week, could this game mark Mike Ditka's final appearance at Soldier Field as head coach of the Bears? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, and we will when we come back following this timeout.
Don't mind football if I'm not playing. Don't mind a tackle, ain't my bone paying. Don't fill me up with expectations. I got what I want, no invitations. Just tell me what the doctor, just what the doctor orders. Just give me a Dr. Pepper, see what it is. Just what the doctor orders. The taste of clean water, we love it.
Getting back to the subject of Mike Ditka, all kinds of questions concerning his future. I mentioned before, will he resign? Will he be fired? He says he intends to be back. I know you had a long chat with him earlier. What do you think is in store?
Well, you know, this guy has one of the best records in the history of the National Football League, so I don't think there's any chance at all he'll be fired. And I think it's just be totally up to Mike Ditka as to what he wants to do. And in talking with him this morning, I don't get the idea that he's going to do anything but try to put the Chicago Bear team back together and look forward to next year. And, you know, Mike's just a great competitor, and I'll tell you, he's a fine coach. And I can tell you, for playing against him, that's one of the best coaches the National Football League's ever seen.
He has 1 year left on a 3-year contract. And the Bears president, Mike McCaskey, will get together after the season to talk it over with Ditka. What do you make of all the extracurricular activities that have occurred? Media, fans, radio show, all that has taken place this year.
Well, I think when you lose a few games, you know, those things start to magnify themselves, and people call more attention to them. But I don't think Mike Ditka is any different now than he's been throughout the course of his career. This year just hasn't gone well, so when it doesn't go well and you're a head coach in the National Football League, and it didn't go well for me several times while I was coaching, and I know what, you know, that's part of the territory. You just live with that stuff, and you know and you resolve that things are going to get better. And that's the feeling I get from Mike Ditka. He's going to put this Bear thing back the way it was. That's his goal. And I wouldn't put it past him.
Third down and 5. Here's a reverse. Anthony Morgan with a long gainer, reaching inside the 30. Second time today, the Bears successfully execute the reverse with Morgan. This goes for 34. Perry and Link finally got him down.
Lewis handing back to Morgan. He gets a couple good blocks from Keith Van Horn, and Morgan looks like he might be able to just outrun people here, but he kind of had his mind made up that he was going to cut back there before he really needed to, instead of just stretching it out for the goal line. But this is what Mike Ditka and Greg Landry and the Bears offensive staff wants to do now. Just take as much time off the clock. And
first down at the 30-yard line. Anderson gets the call. Anthony Morgan with terrific speed. Track star at Tennessee, 5th-round draft pick last year. Provides the Bears with a legitimate long ball threat. And now the shuffling has begun in the offensive line. Bears going with a combination of Wojciechowski, Lewinberg, Thayer, and Williams. James Williams, number 71, has made the switch from defensive tackle to offensive tackle, where the Bears say he will stay. Second down and 4. Anderson running sharply to the 20 and a first down. Neil Anderson has looked very good.
I think the Bears offensive coaches would like to get a little more size in their offensive line, and guys like Louis Age and James Williams provide that 300-pound blocker, and in some cases in excess of 300 pounds. And I think that's what they'd like to do, because if they're going to continue with a power running game and the scheme that's almost necessary here in a city like Chicago with the weather, you're going to need some of those big guys.
Penalty marker down.
Well, an unsportsmanlike foul on number 26 of the defense. Half against the single goal. First down.
That's Rod Woodson, who has been upset for a good portion of the second half. And the ball is placed inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Bears. Muster and Anderson, the running backs. Anderson, 10 carries, 51 yards. Out of the way. Muster. Donald Evans made the stop. Hope you stay with us after the conclusion of the game for the Old Spice NFL Live post-game report. Bob Costas, OJ, Dan Hampton, and a chat with Dan's one-time teammate, Mike Singletary, winding down what has been a magnificent NFL career. This is home finale, and he's played well. He has also inspired his team here today.
I think when you talk about greatness, that's one of the qualities.
Anderson to the outside. Anderson for the touchdown. And another fight breaks out. We've seen this right throughout. That's Louis Age, number 79. He goes 6'7", 350 pounds. And flags are thrown. Second half, we have had a series of scraps. Louis Age activated from the practice squad this week. 11th round draft pick out of Southwest
After the
Louisiana.
score, we have a personal foul on number 54, and he's ejected. It will be penalized on the kickoff.
That is Hardy Nickerson, and he has been ejected. He threw a punch, so he's gone.
Well, he just hit Louis Age in the face mask, and there's no need for that. I mean, you know you're getting beat. It's 29-6, going to be 30-6. You know what you do is get to the locker room, get on the plane, and go home and play next week.
And the point after by Butler. And this has become a rout. Chicago Bears 30. The Pittsburgh Steelers 6 with 3:02 remaining in the game.
The last touchdown is just a little sprint draw to Neil Anderson, and he fakes it up in and then dips it outside and just overpowers Richard Shelton, number 24, for the touchdown. You know, you just see a great sense of frustration here on the part of the Steelers because they know what's at stake. But when you have a young team like the Pittsburgh Steelers have, and you're playing a team like the Bears that's really kind of a veteran unit, things like this can happen. The Steelers haven't been through enough of these kind of pressure situations yet to react favorably, with poise, with confidence, you know, and until they get that experience, and they're getting it, this is part of the process, you know, you'll see some things like this.
And Buffalo, with the win yesterday over Denver, has or will move in front of Pittsburgh because of the head-to-head situation.
Well, what Bill Cowher has to do now is he's got to be thinking pretty quickly about what he's going to say to this team when he goes in that dressing room, because this is a pretty good licking. They haven't taken one like this in a very, very long time. And when you have a young team, it can shake your confidence a little. I don't really think it will because they've accomplished so much this year. But you got to be saying the right things. And it's got to include something about some of this personal foul conduct. It's got to include keeping our poise, that type of thing.
From the Chicago side of the picture, people have to be saying, where have these Bears been the last 6 weeks?
Well, they've been where Bears go, Marv, in hibernation, I guess.
6 straight losses. Their last win at Green Bay, Week 7, October the 25th. And the kickoff put on the ground. You saw where that's because of the series of penalties where that kickoff took place. We're just under 3 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Well, Pittsburgh next week, home for Minnesota. And they finish at home against Cleveland on December the 27th. The Buffalo schedule, they remain indoors for the final 2 at New Orleans and at Houston.
Well, you know, both of those teams are in a little jeopardy there. What Pittsburgh doesn't want to wind up playing on the wild card weekend. I mean, even though they'll probably win the division, they could still slip back and have to play that wild card weekend. They certainly don't want to do that.
And Brister throws down the field. It is incomplete. Graham took a hit from Carrier. It has not been an effective day for Bubby Brister, although, as you have been mentioning, there have been a number of dropped passes, but Brister 12 for 27, only 121 yards, intercepted twice. He went one stretch 0 for 7 and has done very little in the second half. And certainly Pittsburgh has had to throw because they've been coming from behind. And we're not able to get the running game going. Right from the start, Barry Foster will stop. Second down. And Brister completes. Ernie Mills run out, has a first down, and looks like Brister got shaken up. That's a 21-yard pickup.
That's personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 97 of the defense. 15 yards from the end of the play. First down.
That's Chris Zorich called on the personal foul.
Brister back. Picks up Mills on the short crosser. Now Zorich could have stopped there. I mean, he didn't really do anything malicious, but I think he could have tried to pull off a little bit. I mean, that was not a malicious tackle.
Chris Zorich, as a senior, won the Lombardi Award as the nation's best interior lineman. An undersized player, made the club last year out of Notre Dame. And Brister completes, but that is a short pickup. Jeff Graham made the catch, covered by Maurice Douglas. Pittsburgh Steelers, over the course of the season, have been a very good fourth quarter team in terms of coming from behind, but not able to get anything going here in the second half.
Well, you know, the whole thing started with these turnovers and then a couple of miscues on special teams. And, you know, it goes from bad to worse. And
Brister got it off, almost picked off. Intended for Mills and a flag thrown. Wolford on the coverage. And the penalty against Pittsburgh.
Illegal use of hands to the face, number 62 of the offense. 10 yards, repeat, second down.
That is the right tackle, Touch Ilkin.
well, it seems like we've had a flag on every play for the last 15 plays.
Sixth penalty called on the Steelers for 66 yards. I mentioned earlier the Pittsburgh Steelers, according to several of their players, have been in a slump the last 3 games. The defense and special teams has done it. Now making 4 straight games in which the offense has been very quiet.
Well, I think everybody had a hand in this today, and Bill Cowher knows that. There's Ron Earhart, and he knows that his offense is playing the way he would like it to. But, you know, you can't judge a team by 1 game. And, you know, they're off to a good start this year, and they're headed for the playoffs. And what they got to do is take and learn from this and make sure something similar doesn't happen next week.
Crowd chanting for Mike Singletary, who is over on the sideline in these closing minutes. And Brister taken down. Ball was knocked loose, recovered by the Steelers, advanced by the left guard Duval Love. And he was covered up by Alonzo Spellman.
Well, I think the fans were kind of hoping that Mike Singletary could kind of go out there and maybe take a little bow.
There's the 2-minute warning. The Bears 30, the Steelers 6.
While the fluid styling of the Mazda 929 may be timeless, the 929 personal lease offer is considerably shorter. Because now you can lease the 929, complete with dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and European leather, for just $349 per month. So see your Mazda dealer today. Like all good things, this offer must soon come to an end.
Starting now, your photos have the power of television. Introducing the Kodak Photo CD.
Won't believe your heart. You won't believe your eyes.
Your pictures taken with your current film and camera, transferred onto a new kind of compact disc and shown on TV. The special Photo CD player also plays audio CDs.
Your pictures have never been so powerful.
The new Kodak Photo CD system. You've got to see it.
You want a beer. You want it cold. You want it smooth. Introducing Colders 29 and 29 Light. Brewed its own way. Cold aged at 29 degrees to seal in smoothness. When you chill at Colders, you get a cold, smooth taste. Beer after beer. Cold, smooth taste. New Colders 29 and 29 Light. What else do you need?
For Mike Singletary, this is finale at Soldier Field in his farewell season. He has been the heart of the Bears defense for more than a decade, a Pro Bowl player for 9 years. Second-round draft pick out of Baylor back in 1981. And going out at least in positive fashion here today in what has been a poor season for the Chicago Bears, but they have come up with a resounding victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 minutes remaining in the game, and the Bears lead 30-6. Fourth down and 11, and Brister incomplete. It is ruled incomplete. Graham again took a good shot, this time from Richard Fain, and could not hang on.
Well, they just haven't been able to catch the ball, and it's become ludicrous to talk about it anymore. But, you know, they have had to drop an even dozen passes today. And as I said, when you combine that with turning it over, you just can't win.
Steelers today with only 10 first downs, 35 yards on the ground. That has been it. And Barry Foster with only 24 yards on 12 carries. Chicago taking over on downs. Mark Green getting the call for the first time. Mark Green, fourth year out of Notre Dame, a forgotten player recently. Right now it's time for the free Cotton Super Play of the game. A day that began in this fashion for Mike Singletary. Ovation from the crowd as he was introduced in his farewell here in Chicago.
And here's the play, and of course it had to be Mike Singletary today, and diagnosing and seeking out that draw play to Barry Foster, just like we've seen him do so many times over the years.
And this club has been sparked up. We can only guess that they have responded to the finale for Singletary. We will not know that until we hear the post-game comments, but I would assume that has been the case, because they have come out so strong, and with a standing ovation in the direction of Singletary. You see the message board and teammates hugging Mike Singletary. Standing ovation for Singletary.
Well, the great thing about it is all his teammates were having their picture taken with Mike in his last game, and you know that's going to go on some family room walls. Each guy was going over and standing next to Mike and getting the picture taken with him. And
Mark Green with that last carry as time winds down, and the Chicago Bears stop the big losing streak. They're now 5-9. Pittsburgh Steelers drop to 10-4. So Buffalo able to move in front by virtue of the head-to-head competition. Pittsburgh had won 4 in a row. The Bears run for 212 yards. Harbaugh 11 for 21, 90 yards through 1 touchdown. So we'll be back in a moment. Again, the final, the Bears 30, Steelers 6, coming up the postgame.